Hey everyone, this is Gesh and you're watching another one of my StarCraft 2 videos. Now this isn't really a tutorial, but I had a couple of games recently that were kind of interesting for me. It involved facing two different players, but the race map and the tactics they used were completely the same in both matches. So this is the first match I had, and I'm the Terran in blue, my opponent is Protoss in red. The map is Blistering Sands, and this is quite significant for this video, as you'll see later. Now, being Terran, the first thing I do is start walling off my ramp. This is a fairly common Terran procedure, to stop early units from running in and tearing the place apart. Afterwards I send this one SCV to scout out the Protoss base and see what he might be up to. I think many of you will recognise those two structures as gateways. Now, two gateways, one after the other. This build order tends to point to one thing, and that's a Zealot rush. This player will try and pump out lots of Zealots very quickly to overpower my defences while I'm still producing my basic units. Now you could say a lot of Protoss build two gateways, but he hasn't really made an assimilator or put down a cybernetic core as well, so he's clearly not got anything else in his mind for the time being. Right, back at my base, I've finished blocking my ramp, but as you might know on this map there are two ramps into a player's base. The other is blocked by these rocks. Now I'd usually plant a supply depot here for vision, but for now I've just got a marine there, so I'll be able to see if anything tries to take out these rocks, like that. I had saw this coming, the marine's there, but I wasn't prepared enough. What I'm trying to do now is move that marine to attack those zealots, but he's completely out of range, which is a big problem since those zealots will make short work of those rocks. Marauders, I think, have the range, but I can't get any of those out at this point in time. So instead I decided to build a bunker. A bunker will increase the range of my marine fire, but with all of these zealots, the bunker came far too late and they're destroyed before I can do anything about it. Now this is where I really mess up. My opponent knows I have to split my forces since I've now got two entrances into my base, so he takes full advantage of that and he just bursts his way through my buildings at my original ramp. Not much I can do to recover from it really. No matter if macro or bunkers can save me. GG. Now then, the next random match, it's Blistering Sands again. And another Protoss player. Even our colours and positions are identical to the last game. So there goes my block. And I'll do the same again. I'm going to send this SCV to scout Protoss base. Let's see if he does something different to the other guy. Nope. Two gateways again. Yeah, two different players are using the same tactic on me, on the same map, one after the other. I mean, it was almost identical. I even let him know that, in case he changed his mind or something. So what do I do this time? Well, I put a bunker down at those rocks straight away. I figured out in the last match my marines didn't quite have the range to shoot those zealots. So a bunker will sort out that problem. What else? Oh yes, he quickly outnumbered me, having only one barracks, so let's make another one. Oh, hello there. Fancy that happening. Let's pop some marines into that bunker, and there, he backs off, wanting to preserve these zealots. Already I've averted a big danger and protected the rocks. I also go ahead and bunker up my other ramp, and also one near my mineral line in case they manage to get through. Below that I'm building a factory, so now I've gotten rid of the initial danger, I can start preparing for some mid-game units. I'm also going for reactors on my barracks, simply because I just want to match his unit count right now. He's already got 7 zealots to my 7 marines. He tries my other ramp and now he backs off. And look, he actually seems pleased someone knew how to counter his rush, just to make the game a bit more interesting, which I think is nice to see. Ah, and it's already getting interesting, he's brought in a stalker. So now he's got some range firepower, and he's sending that at those rocks, doing small damage, but he'll get through it eventually. And there's no way my marines can reach from that distance, so those rocks are going to go down at some point. And he's brought another stalker in to help. But I'm just about to get some bigger firepower of my own. Got some siege tanks on the way now. They won't have siege mode just yet, but that'll be invaluable later on. Now he seems to leave the rocks on no HP and just gather at my wall. I think it's just to keep me guessing. He seems to be gathering at my ramp and wants to have another go here, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Unlucky for him, he wasted enough time and I now have siege mode. So now I've got the range to blast those stalkers. But it's a bit late, the rocks have already been destroyed. But just like that, I've established a reasonable defense against his forces. I've got 24 marines now and some siege tanks. I think if he hadn't been so conservative, he'd have broken in a lot earlier, but that's how it goes. Quick look in his base, he's got those gateways, but he's now got a cybernetics core and robotics facility up. So we will be seeing some higher tier units. I noticed he was really slacking on probes though, so my economy is actually looking much better than his. Back at my base, I'm just building a little army now. I can relax a bit. Got plenty of defense and got start. Oh, this is really silly. I don't know why I did this. I scout out this high yield, then I don't decide to land there. I want to land at these other minerals here. And oh, he's got control of a Zealot tower. And unfortunately for me, you can completely see where I've landed. Oh dear, very silly. Well, back at my base, I've got quite a formidable force coming now. Got some banshees coming out. 34 marines, 10 marauders, 4 siege tanks, so I'm actually outnumbering quite well now. It's time for me to go on the offensive. I've got left some in the bunkers and a siege tank just as a bit of defense as well. Oops, I nearly forgot about that. Quick repair. Right, safe. Now this next bit is a bit of a waste of time. Basically, I was being a bit cautious and I wanted to see if he had any expansions, because I would have thought he might have done by now, because I was used to expand earlier. So I just danced around the map, but the whole time he's got control of the Zealot tower, as you can see exactly where I'm going. So I don't see anything at all, and he slips his forces right behind them, starts attacking my base. But the defences are less behind and more than enough to take care of that. Banshees coming in as well. Meanwhile, my forces are destroying his rocks. And this is just brilliant. He spends all that time destroying my rocks and he doesn't even keep anything to keep vision on his. And I managed to come behind his colossi that were waiting for me into his base, and that's GG. Poetic justice, I think. So there you have it. I lost the first game, but I quickly learnt from my mistakes and fixed the problems in the second match, and it resulted in a win. Now, this example isn't the only way, and probably not the best way to counter a Zealot rush. I'm sure if I'd made a lot of Reapers, they'd be able to avoid the Zealots with ease and would be able to do some harassment or even major damage to his base. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. I'll see you next time.